Hello guys, how are you today? So today I'll be explaining the Math AMS quiz of Term 2, Week 8, okay? So let's start. The annual membership fee for an online streaming application costs 40 Zs. Now I don't think this is a real currency, they just made it up so that they will not cause any issues with the currency or whatever, okay? So the movie rental fee for members is lower than the fee for non-members as shown in the table below. They said Anne was a member of the streaming application last year. Last year she spent 97.60 Zs in total, which includes the membership fee. How much would Anne have spent if she had not been a member but had rented the same number of movies? So first thing we know is that 40 Zs is cost of the membership, okay? She is a member, okay, and she spent 97.6 Zs, so 97.6 minus the membership cost, which is 40 Zs. If you do it on your calculator, you are gonna get an answer of 57.6 Zs. So all the movies she paid for is 57.6 Zs. Okay, so they're telling us that if you are a member, per movie you pay 3.2 Zs. So she paid for how many movies? 57.6 divided by 3.2, which is then 18 movies. So in total, Anne paid for 18 movies. Now, they're telling us if Anne was not a member, how much would she have paid? So 6.25 Zs per movie if you are not a member. So 18 movies times 6.25 Zs. If you do it on your calculator, you are gonna get an answer of 112.5. So Anne spent 112.50 Zs. Now, the minimum number of movies a member needs to rent to cover the cost of the membership fees is 14. Which of the following statements it could explain why? First of all, it will not cover the membership fee because the cost per movie is too high. Definitely not. Alright. The membership fee is covered by exactly renting 14 movies regardless of the saving per movie. This is also incorrect. However, if you move on to for a single movie, a member saves 3.05 Z. So non-member pays 6.25, member pays 3.2 Z. So you're gonna subtract them and you're gonna get a difference of 3.05 Z. So per movie, the membership will help you save 3.05 Z. Now, another thing you could do is you could make an equation that 6.25x, okay, this is x, the number of movies you rent, is equal to 3.2x plus 40 because we know this and this is the same. Yeah? So we need to see what is the number of movies she should buy, okay, or someone should buy in order to cover the total cost of the same number of movies with a membership. So you're gonna do it, okay, you're gonna bring this to the other side, so 6.25 minus 3.2, again you're gonna get 3.05x is equal to 40. So then we are gonna do 40 divided by 3.05 and you're gonna get an answer of 13.1 approximately, okay? Now 14.1 you're gonna round it. Why? Because you cannot have 13 point something movies. Here you're gonna round it to the higher movie, so 14 movies, even though it's gonna cost a bit more. Yeah, if you have a decimal and you're talking about an object that cannot be split, for example, movies, people, cars, like you cannot have 3.5 cars, so you'll have a car, another car, and then half of the car. That doesn't make sense. So that's why if you have point something, you will directly take it to the bigger number, which is 14. So this one and this one is correct. We move on to the second question. A memory card is a small digital information storage device. Joanne has a memory card that stores music and photos. The memory card has a 1 gigabyte, which is 1000 megabytes. The graph below shows the current memory card status. Okay, as you can see, 455 megabytes is videos, 350 megabytes is photos, and 195 is free space. Okay, so Joanne wants to transfer a new music video of 300 megabytes onto her memory card. Since there's not enough free space on the memory card, Joanne decides to delete up to 2 videos to free some of her space. They need to know which of the following videos she is gonna delete. Okay, so which 2 videos is it possible to delete to save enough space on her memory card? Okay, so in general, she needs 300 megabytes to be free so she can save this video. Okay, so 300 megabytes minus the already existing free, which is 195, will give us an answer of 105. So whichever to add up to 105, okay, so any 2 videos that add up to more than 105 or 105 megabytes, we are gonna take them. So let us go down and look at the options. They said video 6 and 7. Video 6 plus 7, if you add 40 megabytes plus 38, you are gonna get 78, which is definitely less than 105. If you go to 3 and 4, oh my goodness, I refreshed, it's okay. I was here. We said this one. So if we're gonna take videos 3 and 4, 3 is 50 megabytes, 4 is 55, together they're 105. 105 is equal to 105, so we are gonna take it. However, video 4 and 5, it's 55 plus 42. It's gonna give us 97. 97 is less than 105. So definitely the only options are any 2 videos that add up to more than 105 megabytes and video 3 and video 4. Then later, Joanne deletes some videos and photos, but also adds some new files. The new memory card status is shown below. So as you can see, if you add them all together, it's gonna be 750 plus 104 plus 146, which all in all adds up to 8,000 megabytes or 1 gigabyte. Yeah? Okay, so this is a G, not a 6. Alright. Now, Joanne buys a new memory card with a capacity of 2 gigabytes, which is 2000 megabytes, which is totally empty. She transfers the content of her old memory card onto the new ones. So very simply, what we're gonna do, okay, is we know that these are the only things that are gonna take up space. So we have 750 megabytes plus 104 megabytes, which is 854 megabytes, divided by the total number of megabytes, which is 2000 megabytes. So 854 divided by 2000 megabytes, it's gonna take like 42.7% in total. So just like in general, in total, it's gonna take 42.7% of the whole sphere. Okay, now as you can see, in A, okay, the videos is taking up most of the portion, which is incorrect because we said the videos plus photos takes up only 42.7%. Okay, in the second one, it is a possibility because as you can see, the videos and photos take up 42.7%. Same for D, but C, it takes exactly 50% and we're not gonna take it. So the 2 possible answers could be either B or D. Now here is where we use our logic, our common sense. 750 is bigger than 104. The orange is photos, the blue is videos. So as you can see, the videos is supposed to take a much bigger portion than the photos. So definitely this is wrong and it leaves us with the answer of option B. Moving on to question number 3, very simply to find the area of a trapezoid. We know that the area of a trapezoid is base times height, or sorry, it was height actually times base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. So the height is given to us as 24 times base 1, which is 30 plus, pay attention, look at base 2. Base 2 is all of this, so it's 51 plus 7, okay, this is plus 7 divided by 2. So if you put it on the calculator, 24 times 30 plus 51 plus 7 divided by 2, you are gonna get an answer of 1056. So the answer over here is 1056. Okay, so it's gonna be 1056. Moving on to question number 4, they said what's the area of a square whose side has a length of 10? Very simply, we know that a square, the area is side times side, so it's gonna be 10 times 10, which is 100. Moving on to question number 5, they need the area of a rectangle whose length is 12 centimeter and width is 4 centimeter. So we know area of rectangle is length times width, okay? So the length is 12, width is 4, so it's gonna be 48 centimeter squared. So the answer here is 48. Moving on to question number 6, they need the area of the triangle. We know that the area of any triangle is base times height over 2, or 1 over 2 times base times height. The base in this case is gonna be 10, okay? The height in this case is gonna be 6, okay? Divided by 2. So 10 times 6 divided by 2, that's 60 divided by 2, which is 30, okay? Alright, we move on to question number 7. They told us in the simplest form, the area of an equilateral triangle with the side length 40 is k radical 3, where k is an integer. First of all, equilateral triangle, try to draw a good one, means that all sides are equal. Okay, another thing about equilateral triangle is that all angles are equal, and I'll tell you something, if all angles are equal in a triangle, then directly they are all equal to 60 degrees. Okay, that means in our triangle, which is the equilateral triangle, this is 40, this is 40, this is also 40, and we have this side over here, which is 60. Sorry, not this side, this angle, so 60, 60, and 60. To find the area, we can very simply apply the sine rule. The sine rule states it's 1 over 2 times a side multiplied by another side, so times 40 times 40, times the angle in between them, which is 60. So if you apply it on your calculator, it's 1 over 2 times 40 times 40 times here, sorry, I put 60, I meant to put sine of 60. So 1 over 2 times 40 times 40 times sine of 60, you will get an answer of 692.8. Okay, but here is where we come into a bit of an issue, okay? So 600, what was the answer again? The answer was 692.8, but as you see, they needed k radical 3. So you can do this in many ways. You can either divide the answer by radical 3 and you are gonna get 400. So you're not gonna take 692.8, just take the answer on your calculator, divide it by radical 3, you're gonna get the answer, which is 400. Or you could play it smart. You know that sine 60 is equal to radical 3 over 2. So very simply, it's 1 over 2 times 40 times 40 times radical 3 over 2. So first of all, 1 over 2 times 40 is 800. So 800 times radical 3 over 2, cancel this and this, you will get 400 radical 3. So either way, whichever way you get it, the answer is gonna be 400. Moving on to question number 8, they need the area of the parallelogram. You know the area of parallelogram is base times height. Okay, the base is gonna be 10 centimeters times the height, which is 6 centimeters, so it's 60 centimeters squared. Okay, so it is 60 centimeters squared. We move on to the next question. This question is really an interesting question. So KLMN is a parallelogram. Okay, we know that LM is 5 centimeters, MN is 3 centimeters, LN is 3.2 centimeters, okay? And since it's a parallelogram, then definitely this is 3 and this is 5 because they are parallel and congruent. Okay, but not all, only the parallel, they are gonna be congruent. They told us that the arc has a radius of 1, so this is 1 centimeter. Okay, so in the first question, they asked us to find the measure of the angle LKN. To find the measure of the angle LKN, first of all, you know that this is 3.2, this is 5, is this 5? No, this is 3 and this is 5. So, very simply, to find this angle, we can apply the cosine rule. The cosine rule states usually it is side squared times, side squared plus side squared plus, was it minus 2 times side times side times cosine the angle in between them. Okay, but here in this case we are finding the angle, so we're gonna apply the other rule, which states that it's gonna be the two sides next to the angle, or that form the angle, so it's gonna be 3 squared plus 5 squared minus 3.2 squared. Okay, then it's gonna be over 2 times side here times side there. So 3 squared plus 5 squared minus 3.2 squared over 2 times 3 times 5. So 3 squared plus 5 squared minus 3.2 squared over 2 times 3 times 5. So we are going to get an answer of 0.792. What we're going to do is we're going to shift cosine. So on your calculator, you're going to do shift cosine. You're going to put answer, and you're going to get approximately. So we will get an answer that is approximately 38 degrees. It's actually 37.6, so rounded to 38 degrees. Now they need us to find the area of the shaded region. Okay, so very simply what we could do is we could first find the area of the parallelogram and then subtract from it the area of the arc, or the angle over here. So to do that, we're gonna first find the area of the parallelogram, which is gonna be the base 5, okay? Or to be more specific, this base, which is also 5, times the height. Now, how do we find the height? Very simply, to find the height, we have this side over here, which is 3. Okay, we have the angle, which is 38 degrees, and we need to find this side. This side is opposite to the 38 degrees, so based on the SOHCAHTOA rule, okay, we have that SO is opposite over hypotenuse, okay, so it's gonna be the opposite over the hypotenuse, which is 3. It's equal to the sine of the angle 38. So then to find the value of opposite, you're gonna do 3 times sine 38, and you will get an answer of 1.846. To round it, it's 1.847. Okay, so now to find the area, we're gonna apply base times height. We have the height, which is 5, okay? And not the height, we have the base, which is 5, and then we found the height to be 1.847, so times 1.847. 5 times 1.847, this will give us an answer of 9.235. But now what's going to happen is we're going to subtract from it the value of the area of the arc. So to find the area of the arc, we know it is 38 degrees, okay? 38 degrees divided by 360 degrees, which is the total degrees of a circle. So then we are gonna multiply it by the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So 38 over 360 times pi times the radius, it's given to us 1 squared. Okay, you can put it on your calculator, 38 over 360. If you want to find pi on your calculator, you can do times shift, and then if you have times 10 to the power of x, click it, you are gonna find pi, times 1 to the power of 2. You are gonna get an answer which is approximately 0.33, okay? So you're gonna subtract from 9.235, 0.33. Okay, so 9.235 minus 0.33, we will get an answer of 8.905. So we're gonna round it approximately, it's gonna be 9. Okay, now this step is really important because in the exam, if you don't do it, you might get a wrong answer. Okay, now we need to find the perimeter of the shaded region. Very simply, we know the perimeter of this is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. So it's gonna be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, which is 16. Okay? Now we are gonna subtract 16 from the perimeter of this circle or this arc. Okay, so now, now very simply what I did, I took the total perimeter, which is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, which is 16, and I subtracted it from the radius of the circle, which is 1, to get an answer of 15. So it is 15 centimeters. Moving on to question number 10, they said consider the sequence defined by Pn equals 3n minus 1. They said what is the value of P1 plus P7? First let's find P1. P1 is gonna be 3 times 1 minus 1, which is gonna be 2. And then P7 is 3 times 7 minus 1, so 3 times 7 minus 1, which is 20. And now we just simply add them to get an answer of 22. So the answer over here is 22. Moving on to question number 11. Now this question is a very, very important question. So before I read, I'll just tell you a hint is that you're gonna draw a line over here and then it will cut it into 1, 2, 3, 4 congruent triangles. So no matter the area of the rectangle, okay, and no matter what they ask you, you can find it very simply, okay? So they told us they need the area of the parallelogram BPDQ. So very simply, what you could do is find the area of each one, and since they are congruent, that means it's gonna be 18 divided the area of 4 triangles, which is gonna be 4.5, or for example, in the exam, they will give you 32 divided by 4, it's gonna be 8 for each one. But here we got it to be 4.5. So then they need the area of the parallelogram, so it's gonna be area of triangle 2 plus area of triangle 3. Since they are both the same, you just add 4.5 plus 4.5 to get an answer of 9. So the answer over here is 9. We move on to question number 12. Now, I've been waiting for this question because it's a really difficult question. So I would like to explain it. Okay? They told us they need the sector angle x. Very simply, to find the value of the sector angle x. Okay, we need to find the value of to find the angle, okay, the sector angle x, okay, we need to have some values in mind. We know that when it was a cone, before it was cut open, it had a length of 10 centimeters, a side length of 10 centimeters, and a radius of 4 centimeters. Now, what you need to know is that to find this value over here, this arc, okay, we're gonna apply circumference or the circumference rule. So very simply, to find the circumference, see, it's equal to 2 pi r. 2 times pi times 4, because we know the radius is 4 centimeters. So the circumference is equal to 8 pi. Okay? Now here, there's gonna be something a bit different. We found the circumference, okay, of the arc. So this is circumference of arc. Now we need to find the full circumference, okay? Now take it like this. Take it, it's a whole big circle. It's supposed to be a whole big circle, okay? Let me redraw it better. And to be fair, this over here is what? This is our center, even though it doesn't show accurately, but this over here is our center, okay? That means this over here is our radius. So to find the full circumference of the circle, it's gonna be 2 pi r again, which is 2 times pi times 10, which is 20 pi. Now here comes in something that is like logic, okay? Just remember this equation. This angle over here is equal, we're gonna say x, it's equal to the circumference of the arc over the full circumference multiplied by the total angle in a circle, which is 360. So look what we did. We took the circumference of this arc, we divided it by the total circumference of the circle, okay? Yeah, so if we did it on the, like, we know the circumference of the circle to be 8 pi. We divided by the circumference of the full circle, which is 20 pi. So 8 pi divided by 20 pi, pi and pi will cancel. 8 pi divided by 20 you are gonna cancel, and then you will be left with 2 over 5. So then 2 over 5 times 360, if you put it on the calculator, you are gonna get an answer of 144 degrees. So the sector angle X is 144 degrees. Now they need the area of the shaded region rounded to the nearest whole number. So for the last question, I'm not really too sure of it. I prefer you would ask your teachers about it. I've tried many ways, I got many different answers, and the way that seemed to work the most was that I found this side. So to find this side, I applied the cosine rule. I think you all know how to do the cosine rule. So I did 10 squared plus 10 squared, okay, minus 2 times 10 times 10 times cosine the angle in between them, which is 144. And I did the radical answer, I got an answer of 19. I found the radius, which is half of it, which became 9.5. And I did 9.5 times pi squared. And I got an answer of 94 approximately. And then I found that 96 was the closest. So please do ask your teachers, because I'm not really sure how to do this. I asked my parents, I asked ChatGPT, Google, they all gave me different answers. So I'm not sure how to do this, okay? Moving on to question number 13. Very simply, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take the average speed of the train between 9:30 and 11:30 in kilometers per hour. To find it in kilometers per hour, we're gonna first find how many hours was between 11:30 and 9:30, which is 2 hours. And we're gonna find the distance, which is 300 minus 150, so 150. 150 divided by 2 hours, you will get 75. So 75 kilometers per hour. Now they need the average speed of the train between 7 and 9:30. Between 7 and 9:30, it is actually 2 hours and a half. Okay, so 2 hours, 30 minutes. If you change it all completely to hours, it's 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Okay, and the distance is 150. So you will take 150 divided by the time of here, which is 2.5 hours, to get an answer of 60. So the answer over here is 60. Moving on to question number 14. Okay, so very simply what we're gonna do over here is we're gonna take the total distance, which is 63 kilometers, and we are gonna find the velocity. To find the velocity, we know that the equation is that the distance is equal to the area of the shape. In this case, it's a trapezoid. So it's velocity, the height, times base 1, which is from 7:50 to 7:05, which is 45 minutes. But you have to change it into hours. So 45 divided by 60 will give you 0.75 hours. Plus all of this, which is all in all 1 hour, divided by 2. So 63 times 2 is 126. 126 is equal to V times 1.75. Then 126 divided by 1.75 will give you V, which is 72 kilometers per hour. Now the average acceleration of the train during the first 5 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the speed, the total speed, which was 72. Here it was 72 in the first 5 minutes. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the 5 minutes and change it to hours, because they need it in kilometer per hour squared. So you're gonna do 72 over 5 divided by 60. On your calculator, it will give you an answer of 864. Moving on to question number 15. Here, very simply, if n is equal to 1, what you are gonna do, remember, if n is equal to 1 or x is equal to 1 or whatever, you're gonna take the number on top and you are gonna multiply it by this number here. So 30 times 10 is gonna be 300, very simply. So again, if it is 1 here, you're gonna take the number on top and multiply it by the number here. Moving on to question number 16. Okay, here for this question, it is 1 over here, but since it is not a whole digit, what we are gonna do is we are gonna substitute every single number, so 1, 2, and 3. So it's gonna be 3 times 1 plus 2, plus 3 times 2 plus 2, plus 3 times 3 plus 2, and then you put it on the calculator, you will get an answer of 24. Moving on to question number 17. Here, very simply, we're going to replace n by 5. So u5, we're going to find it 2 times 5 plus 9. And then u10, which is 2 times 10 plus 9. And then you add them together. So 2 times 5 plus 9 is 19. 2 times 10 plus 9 is 29. And then 19 plus 29 added together, we'll get an answer of 48. So the answer over here is 48. Okay, so 48. Moving on to question number 18. Okay, now un. We have that un defined by u1 is equal to 1, u2 is equal to 5 for n greater than 2. Okay, they told us un is equal to 3un minus 1 plus 4un minus 2. So we call this recursive sequence. So what we are going to do first is we need to find the value of each one. So we need to find the value of u5. But before finding the value of u5, we need to find the value of u4. Before u4, we need to find u3. So to do that, we're first going to find u3. u3 is equal to 3 times un minus 1. So u3 or un is u3. That means n is 3. So n minus 1 is going to be 2. So it's going to be 3 times u3 minus 1, which is u2, which is 5. So 3 times 5 plus 4 times u3 minus 2, which is 1. So you're going to have 1 over here. So then it's going to be u3, it's going to be 3 times 5 plus 4 times 1. You're going to get an answer of 19. To find u4, we're going to do the same thing. But here, in this case, we have 3 times u4 minus 1, so u3, and we know u3 is 19, plus 4 un minus 2, so 4 minus 2, which is 2, 5. So 3 times 19 plus 4 times 5, you will get an answer of 77. And now finally, for u5, it's going to be 3 times un minus 1, so u4, which is 77, plus 4 times u5 minus 2, which is u3, which is 19. So if you put it on the calculator, so 3 times 77. Okay, so 3 times 77 plus 4 times 19, we will get an answer of 307. So 307. Now we move on to the last question. This question is a very nice question. It's very simple. They told us a man walks from market to his house along the path indicated by the solid line below. Okay, so they need the actual distance that the man walks in meters. We are given it in centimeters, and we are also given a scale. So first thing we are going to do is we're going to find the total distance he walks in centimeters. So it's going to be 1.5 plus 1.2 plus 1.5 plus 1 plus 2.3. Do it on the calculator. We will get an answer of 7.5, but they told us that 1 centimeter is 200 meters. So to change it from centimeters into meters, we are gonna multiply by 200. So 7.5 times 200, we will get an answer of 1,500. So let me submit, and hopefully we did not do any mistakes. Thank God we didn't do any mistakes. Thank you guys for watching. And please, for question number 12, I believe, check with your teacher about it, okay? And also, I apologize for posting late because I had a STEAM competition.